My name is and this is my story of my journey towards recovery from homelessness, depression and addiction. As a small child, I grew up in a loving, caring family until about the age of 6 when my parents started drinking alcohol heavily. I would get into bed each night and I'd roll myself up into a tight ball and clench my fists hoping that these nightmares wouldn't come, which they always did. And my mother started taking me along to a psychiatrist where I was diagnosed with acute depression anxiety and put onto medication. I endured about 3 months of electrical convulsive shock treatment. After a year I was discharged from the psychiatric hospital and went back to my home with my parents and my only brother. I went back to night school because I missed out on 2 years education. I became a trained firefighter in the Royal Australian Air Force for 6 years. When I got out the Air Force, it was a very hard time in my life where my brother was tragically killed. I was married at the time and I had a marriage breakup and I just went back into this deep depression. I lost everything. I was living out of my car and I ended up pawning everything where I had nothing. I was still fighting the depression and I was trying to work through this on my own. I just didn't want to seek help. I didn't tell my children, I didn't tell my friends. While I was living in my car, I wasn't eating healthy. I was just getting, more depressed. Couldn't see any light out of it, it just felt like I was in a hopeless situation. Sleeping in your car is a very lonely feeling. It got to a point where I wasn't sleeping at all. I was just laying in the car and just feeling like I was going crazy. And in the morning I'd just get out of the car and I'd just be totally exhausted, losing weight, not eating properly, just thinking, my life is just going nowhere. I feel like I'm going crazy. I was worried that I was going to end up back in a psychiatric hospital. And you think about the most negative things, The car shakes and shudders and the noise of the weather outside, it's quite, you can't sleep. It's just the noise of the heavy rain and the wind and everything around you. And I went along to the Hutt Street Centre and I joined the art group. And I've really become hooked on this art. I find that it puts me in a good place. And I feel like my life has turned around. And now, only a few months ago, the manager of the emergency accommodation offered me my own affordable home unit. And I've got my own place for the first time in probably over 25 years. I feel like my life has turned around. I've got a meaningful life again. And I'd like to tell people about that, especially homeless people, that there is hope.